The characters within Mad Shadows by Mary Claire Blais all experience loneliness as they possess a gap in their hearts, an incompleteness in their souls. They try to fill these holes, but nothing can replace the true love that is not present, and these become futile endeavors. Mary Claire Blais grew up in the city of Quebec. As a child, she suffered isolation and received little encouragement for her writings. This may have been what influenced her work to often represent themes of violence, loneliness, and melancholy, which are also all shown in La Belle Bete. Isabelle Marie, the main protagonist of this story, is very different from her mother Louise and her brother Patrice. Unlike her family, she is seen as being horribly ugly, with a scrawny figure and sharp, dark features. This, in addition to the former passing of her father, has caused Isabelle Marie to become silent and brooding. She sees her mother as a doll without a soul, without intelligence, and she sees Patrice as an idiot. Therefore, the land takes the form of a kind of love as she works in the fields each day. This is until she meets a man who offers her his love. Her ugliness is not a curse in itself, but it is a curse to her because it has caused her mother to neglect her and only care for Patrice and his loveliness. Louise, the single mother, only cares for her own beauty and Patrice, whom resembles her youthful looks. Her soul is a quintessence of vanity. The land she owns has allowed her to accumulate wealth, and so she adorns herself with jewels, and even a man to match her looks. Louise on the exterior is well-groomed and poised, but beneath the layers of makeup exist many fears. She fears aging and turning ugly. This insecurity causes the number of accessories to increase as she piles on chokers and bracelets to hide wrinkles. Patrice's beauty is the only purpose she has in life, and through his dazzling aura is how she continues to thrive. This is why Louise does not love Patrice after his face becomes disfigured. She never really loved Patrice. His face was a faint memory of what she had been once. Perhaps it reminded her of when the family's father still lived and there was no loneliness in the household. The alienation and humiliation that followed Isabelle Marie's ugliness caused her to hurt and made her jealous of Patrice's beauty. She physically faints and becomes sick numerous times throughout the story when others fawn over Patrice and his looks. Unlike Patrice, she was aware that his beauty is substantial. He is only beautiful when his mother is there to acknowledge it. To reveal this to Patrice and Louise, she is overwhelmed by her inner emotional frustrations and dunks her brother's face into the boiling water to satisfy her impulses. The family consists of only Louise, Patrice, and Isabelle Marie. As Isabelle Marie hated Patrice's idiocy, overall she was not a loving sister. In comparison, Louise smothered and pampered Patrice to the point that he was dependent on her. When Lance joins the family, Patrice develops an Oedipus complex. He lacks the emotional intelligence to understand why he dislikes Lance, and why Lance's gold cane makes him nervous. It is not positive whether or not Patrice's killing of Lance was intentional. However, subconsciously, Patrice was competing for his mother's love, especially when she spent less time with her son, and her absence caused him to feel loneliness. Michael, Isabelle Marie's neighbor, is blind, and upon meeting her, asks if she is beautiful. She makes herself into a lovely female as she describes her features. Her cold dark eyes become violet. Her jet black hair, she says, is blonde. The pains she has been afflicted with seem more bearable as she spends her days with Michael and rediscovers herself. A new Isabelle Marie. But there is always a fear that Michael will one day regain his ability to see. By trying to fill the emptiness in their hearts, each of the characters' attempts to do so ends in failure. Lance, Louise's lover, was only concerned in his appearance and indulged in breaking women's hearts. He continuously tries to do the same with Louise, but as her love is so focused on Patrice and his beauty, he fails to win her over. The result of his failure is death, as Patrice kills him. The characters do not possess true love. They cannot experience firsthand true beauty as they are beasts, trapped in their own jealousy and lies, which they have created to try and save themselves from the sad situation of their world. Nothing seems to be able to replace the void. Still, in the midst of darkness there is hope. Hope is present when Isabelle Marie meets the blind Michael. Patrice is hope to Louise's life after Lance dies and she is diagnosed with cancer of the cheek. Hope is what the characters cling on to. However, hope and salvation are two very different things.